My name is Jeffrey Frank. This is Liberty Gardens, and I farm because it is fun, mainly. And if it weren't fun, it would be hard to do it day in and day out. I'm standing next to one of our plantings of tomatoes, and I'm very proud of our tomatoes because they are really good. We used to sell these in New York City just when we were starting out, maybe 12 or 13 years ago. And heirloom tomatoes weren't as widely known as they are now, so we would offer them to people just walking down the street. We'd slice them up and people would take a taste of it. And in New York, everybody's moving very fast. But they would grab a tomato, stick it in their mouth, and they would stop in their tracks and turn around and look at the place where they just pulled a tomato and try to associate what was in their mouth with the tomato that they saw. And there was this incredible confusion because they were tasting something that they'd never had before, all their lives thinking they were eating tomatoes, but in reality they were eating these like red balls of water. So when a person tastes what a vegetable really was meant to taste like, which is, it's gone out of style with industrial agriculture, it changes the way they think about food. So for us, tomato is kind of the poster child of that, because the difference between the industrial tomato and what we grow is the difference between night and day. Here in the Lehigh Valley in Pennsylvania, we sell to Bolit, the Hotel Bethlehem. There's a new restaurant on the south side of Bethlehem called Molinari's. The Sun Inn occasionally. We sell to Pure Sprouts, organic home delivery service. We sell to a health food store. We sell to Trapdoor. Those are the local ones. Most of our product goes to New York City, and we have about a dozen or 20 restaurants there that we sell to once a week or twice a week. I think the future of farming is really bright for right now. There's a lot of people, young people especially, who are getting into it. They're excited about food. They're excited about sustainability and doing something that they consider to be righteous work. I think for the Lehigh Valley, it's really interesting what's happening now. A lot of the bigger tracts are being sold for development. That's been happening for decades. So what does that leave? For most people who want to get into farming, you can't afford to buy a big piece of land at real estate at development prices. So people are getting more and more into very small scale farming. They're using the land very intensively. They're growing the land in an incredible diversity of different foods, and sometimes vegetables and animals, and they're selling it locally. So more and more, as the demand increases, which it has been doing lately, people are going to respond to that and see an opportunity to get into agriculture and meet the demand. It's a very satisfying life, and I think it's Lehigh Valley. My vision for it is becoming a food center where we're using all of the great agricultural land we have to grow interesting, high-quality foods, and we're going to consume them locally because people are into it. We strive to maintain a really, really high level of quality. We have a very high bar, so anything that we do grow that is not up to our standards, we don't let it leave the farm. We either compost it or we'll eat it ourselves. So people who are buying from us are pretty assured that they're going to be getting just about the best thing they could get. Another reason people buy from us is because they want to support local farms. They want a relationship with the farmer for that reason that I was mentioning before, that ultimately when you buy food, it's a matter of trust between you and the person who grew it. Despite certification, despite anything, ultimately you have to believe that it was grown in a responsible way. And the only way to really know that is to grow it yourself. And barring that, to know the person and the place where it was grown. What I always tell people is if you want to preserve local farmland, if you want to have access to food that's been grown locally, if you want to eat the best quality food you can get, you need to support your local farmer. You need to buy from farmers markets or CSAs. You need to eat at restaurants that support local farms, because it's the consumers spending their money that creates the demand, that creates the reason for small farms to exist. And they won't be here unless they have consumer support. So one of the most important things you can do is put your money where your mouth is and support local agriculture.